We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show live from Stenny's in Lake Country. Charlie back in studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Milwaukee Brewers back in action today, taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks for game number 2. It'll be Jacob Mizorowski going up against Brandon Pfaadt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch, 6:40 today from American Family Field, game number 133 on the season. Brewers 82-50, Diamondbacks 64-68. Best record in the National League Central by 5.5 games now, your Milwaukee Brewers. Let's see what the lineup looks like today.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show now. Lakeland University, experience it your way, lakeland.edu. First off, for the visiting Arizona Diamondbacks today, Geraldo Perdomo at shortstop will lead things off. Ketel Marte at second base will bat second. Corbin Carroll in right field will bat third. Lourdes Gurriel, the DH, will bat fourth today. Pavin Smith, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Gabriel Moreno is the catcher, batting sixth. Jake McCarthy in left field bats seventh today. Blaze Alexander, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Alec Thomas in center field rounds things out for Arizona. Now the lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers today. Bryce Terang at second base to lead things off. William Contreras, the catcher, to bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field batting fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Anthony Siegler, Sparky's favorite, third base, will bat seventh. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth for the Crew. Charlie, usually we get into the rewind and talk about the game before, but I got to say this now, just at the beginning here. This has to be like the last straw for Anthony Siegler, right? I mean, I don't care about the right-handed, left-handed matchups anymore. Like, he has not done anything that's been super exciting. I know since the beginning of August, like August 4th, I think he's kind of batting 278 during that time, which sounds good. But the eye test shows you that it is a downgrade at third base every time he plays, don't you think?
That's kind of what it feels like. But also, Tommy, you're free to get it. Pat Murphy, after every game, says he's a good at-bat. So that means he's supposed to be in the lineup, right? He's just a good at-bat.
The whole team is full of good at-bats. Like, I don't understand why one guy's good at-bats would weigh more than another guy's on the team, because it feels like everyone on the team puts up a good at-bat. A lot of good at-bats yesterday in the game. Milwaukee picking up their 82nd victory on the season, clinching a winning season, by the way, which who cares in August, but worth noting at least. Let's go over yesterday's game here in the first segment on The Rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Brandon Woodruff going up against Eduardo Rodriguez of Arizona. Both pitchers settling in early, first two innings, nothing going around. Then in the third, that's when Milwaukee would start to pile things on. After Isaac Collins would lead things off with a double, Blake Perkins hit one between the shortstop and third base. Collins had to hold up, make sure that it was going to go through. Don't worry, Andrew Monasterio gets the first run on the board.
Flare to center, that's going to fall for a base hit. Brewers are on the board. Perkins trying to get the third, and he will.
This was in the middle of like 7 straight guys getting on base for Milwaukee, because the next man up, Bryce Terang, did the same thing Monasterio did.
And another bleeder for a base hit. 2-0, and another knock for Terang.
William Contreras gets a hit, and now the bases are loaded. Then the captain, Christian Yelich, up to get 2 more runs to come across.
And a ground ball through the left side. That'll score 2 more.
A walk to Andrew Vaughn, a ground ball from Sal Frelick. That was the first out after all of this happened, and that would make it 5-0 with a run to come across from the grounder from Sal Frelick. Thought the Brewers were home clear. It was all good. Andrew Monasterio, even in the 4th inning, added on another run, this one via the big fly.
Halloween campers. Monasterio drills one deep into left. There's some treats. 6-0 on Monasterio's home run. His 3rd
homer of the year for Andrew Monasterio in that 4th inning. He has 2 homers in his last 8 games now after hitting just 1 homer in his first 39 games of the year. In his last 14 games, Andrew Monasterio, his numbers, 406, 424 on base, 719 slugging. He has 4 doubles, 2 homers in that time. What happened to Andrew Monasterio? I have no idea, but keep going with it for sure. 6-0 after 4 yesterday for Milwaukee. Then Brandon Woodruff in the 6th. He came back out after 5 good innings. And now the 6th inning, that's when things started to go sideways. Alec Thomas, a single, Geraldo Perdomo. Like that, I understand it hit him. That could have been a strike as well, too, it felt like. Then 5 runs come across thanks to a Ketel Marte single, a Corbin Carroll single, and then a 3-run homer from Lourdes Gurriel. It was 6-5, just as quick as it was 6-0, it felt like, in the game. The Brewers now had to go to the bullpen. Aaron Ashby coming in. He gets through the 6th inning now for after our guy Brandon Woodruff would go 5 2/3 in the contest. Then he goes through the 7th inning as well for him. In the 8th, they would finally get some insurance for him after Caleb Durbin did this.
Fly ball, left field, it is deep, it is gone! There's some insurance as Durbin homers again.
Durbin has 4 extra base hits across his last 3 games now, homered in back-to-back games for the first time in his career. The Brewers would get to close things out with Abner Uribe in the 9th inning, 7-5. That was the final in the game, a series opening victory. Now, Milwaukee secured its 5th consecutive winning season, 8th straight winning campaign in a full season, so you exclude 2020. Milwaukee had 10 batters come to the plate in that 3rd inning, marking the 27th time now the team has batted around this season. Last time was in the 8th inning on August 18th against Chicago. They scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning. That is the 46th time they have put up 4 runs or more in an inning. That is the most in Major League Baseball. The Brewers offense gets it done, even though Brandon Woodruff struggles in that 6th inning. His final line didn't look all that great because of that. 5 2/3, 5 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. But again, I mean, it was 5 one-hit innings before that for Brandon Woodruff. Aaron Ashby, all 5 of his outs coming via the strikeout. He's been nasty for Milwaukee now. And Nick Mears and Abner Uribe hold it down for no Trevor McGill Brewers yesterday. After the game was over, Caleb Durbin, he was kind of the MVP of the game for the Brewers to get that extra insurance run. He spoke to the media after and how big yesterday's win really was. Here is Caleb Durbin after the game.
Yeah, I think after yesterday, definitely wanted to get a win today. Kind of a stinger yesterday with the whole uke ceremony too, and then kind of dropping it the way we did. And I mean, it's baseball. We've been really good late in games all year long. So, you're going to have games like that every now and then, but you just want to bounce back from them. And obviously today was big for that.
What does that say, though, about this team of, you've done so much winning, you lose back-to-back series, and the mentality is, need this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little test for us. That's kind of what we anticipate playoffs being like. Obviously, we got to get there first, but, this kind of last stretch into the postseason, you're going to have really tough games, and you might come up short, but it's, a whole series, and you got to be able to bounce back the next day.
How have you felt at the plate recently? What's led to that success that you've had?
Yeah, really good. Just competing, kind of keeping it simple, and just kind of clicking. Tough to explain. You go through, different feels at the plate throughout the year. Sometimes it's tough to maintain them, but I think when you're feeling good, you just try to keep it going as long as possible.
How happy are you for a guy like Mona who hasn't got to play a ton and now he's playing a lot? All of a sudden, you really need him. And he has a big night like tonight.
Yeah, he's kind of thrown into a big spot with us. Obviously, shortstop, trying to, man the bottom of the order there. It's a big spot. And he's done obviously great. And I think there's a lot of confidence there. I don't think there's really much doubt. I think we know what Mona can do. He's obviously a great teammate, and just makes it more fun when he does step up and have a lot of success. Because he is such a good teammate and is there to back up his teammates throughout the year, and so it's definitely fun to see a guy like that come up big for us.
There is Caleb Durbin after the game. Tommy Wortz here live from Stenny's in Lake Country. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshing, smooth, easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser Vodka, only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly as well with the Sun Cruiser Vodka. This is the leadoff show. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're going to have Drew Wagner join us in about an hour from now. 6:15 is when we'll talk to Drew of Forbes Sports, pick his brain a little bit about yesterday and talk a little more about today against the Diamondbacks. Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook joins us at 6 o'clock to get our nice parlay for the people and what else is going on over at Potawatomi. Right now, breaking down Brewers D-backs game one yesterday as the Brewers win 7-5 over Arizona. Caleb Durbin just spoke. He's competing. Yeah, I just don't understand the competition, right? And I read the lineup off earlier. Anthony Siegler back in today against the righty. I really don't care at this point what Caleb Durbin's numbers are against righties because I don't see it out of Anthony Siegler. I just do not. I hate to agree with Sparky on the take because I just think sometimes what he says can always be crazy, but I don't think he's crazy on this one at all. I think that Anthony Siegler is running his course right now in Milwaukee. I don't necessarily value his at-bats more than I do with Caleb Durbin at-bats right now. And Durbin's come up big in multiple moments now for the Brewers all season long, in which we have yet to see that out of Anthony Siegler. I don't know why, but he's competing. He knows he's doing a good job, at least along the way, it sounds like, with that audio from Caleb Durbin. After as well, Brandon Woodruff talked about his game. And Woodruff, as we read it off already, he went 5 2/3 and really struggled in that sixth inning of work. Luckily, he was picked up by Aaron Ashby, who recorded all of his outs via the strikeout. He has a 2.09 ERA on the year now, coming in for relief. And Abner Uribe picking up his third save on the year helped out Woodruff. But Woody pretty much said, it was one pitch that really messed up his whole performance, and it came to Lourdes Gurriel in that game. Here is Brandon Woodruff after the win yesterday.
Lou, I guess how did you feel the first 5 innings, and you were just cruising, retiring those 14 strikes?
Yeah, it was a good night. I think way too many positives outweigh the kind of outcome of the outing. Look, the main thing is we won the game, which was huge for us. But yeah, the sixth inning, that's just one of those innings you kind of chalk up to kind of being a baseball inning. And I haven't had one of those up until this point. I was throwing the ball well and just had some things not go my way there. Even the hit bat, the Perdomo hit by pitch there was, you go back and look at it, it's borderline a strike call, and he's just on top of the dish. That didn't go my way. And then you got the swing and bunt and just kind of things started kind of unraveling there. And then I made one mistake in the middle of the plate that cost me those runs. But heck, what do you do? I threw the ball extremely well. We got the win, which was important. and you just move on to the next one, chalk that one up as a baseball inning and move on.
It's kind of how it's gone for the team lately.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been a little bit of a fight?
Right. That's when we were on the streak of winning 14 games, it seemed like the ball would bounce our way. You know what I mean? And now it seems like we're having to fight harder. And I mean, that's baseball. So it's going to be like that throughout the rest of the way. I mean, we got some tough opponents here coming up, but and the Diamondbacks are a great team. But yeah, just kind of not everything's going to fall your way in that sense, and just have some bad luck, and that's okay. And you move on and just keep trying to make pitches. That's it.
Woody, what was that conversation when Murph came out, but then you realized you had to come?
Well, I didn't think about it. I just told him I had that hitter, and he was like, okay. And he turned around, and then Manny was basically just like, that's your second visit. And that's pretty much all it was. So nothing too crazy there.
That's just you're locked in and kind of forgot Hookie came out?
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't think. I was locked into the game. I just wanted to get through that inning. I just felt like my body was feeling good, and I felt like I was throwing the ball well. And I mean, he come out and basically there was no rebuttal. He turned around, and then we had to pause and take a little time out and realize that that's just like a visit of the inning. I can't keep going. So Murph apologized, which he didn't need to. It wasn't his fault. But yeah, I mean, just kind of a weird inning, just a weird inning overall. So
is it a good sign though? Like they gave you the extra day, 97 pitches, and you still feel good enough to continue? Yeah,
it's that's important for me. I know what's probably going to be asked of not only myself, but the rest of the guys here down the stretch, and the bullpen's been working a lot, and that was a big thing. I wanted to get through the sixth and potentially pitch into the seventh, and that inning kind of happened. So I was fighting to stay out there, but that's huge. I just got to keep taking care of my body. I've done a heck of a job of that so far up until this point, and honestly, we win baseball games. My main concern is being healthy and making it to the next outing, and worry about winning that one when it gets there. So yeah, that's all I'm focused on.
Woody, on a day like today where McGill is down, how nice is it to have somebody like Abner step in and just kind of what an underrated year he's had for you guys overall? I'm not sure what he said over there, but he's an absolute freak. Like, he really is. I mean, this dude can wake up and throw 100 miles an hour, and I mean, he truly is a special arm. And we saw glimpses of it last year, and I think this year he's maturing and he's understanding he's in a perfect role, and I think he is he's a freak pretty much. I mean, there's no way to put it. We got some guys that can throw gas, but that dude just seems like he can just throw 100 every day. So tip my cap to him in that sense.
There is Brandon Woodruff after the Brewers' victory yesterday. One more guy to play from. Let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. He had some inspiration for the guys after the game. Even tried to test his children on it, it seemed like, too. Here is Pat Murphy after the game.
It didn't come easy, but you feel like I think you said this, was it yesterday? The days are running together, that there's value in some of the games when they go like this.
Well, it is because, again, I'm going to call this out like I called out yesterday with the Giants. I mean, this is a team built to win. I mean, there's 6 or 7 guys in that lineup that were in the World Series a couple years ago. There's some stars in there, real stars. Some of the best players in the game. There's one of the most underrated players in the game in Perdomo. There's one of the best catchers in the game in Moreno. I mean, you just go on and on. And this team, they might not have. They're in that division where it's a dogfight, but these guys are good. And at this time of year, they're loose. They're just playing. And I think these are valuable games because you just have to play baseball pitch to pitch. It's a fight. You can't go into a fight thinking if you want to be the champion, then you got to go in and fight like a champion every night. And the key to this whole thing is how you respond when you get punched in the mouth. That's the key to everything. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you get punched in the mouth, how do you respond? Jackson? How do you respond, Jackson, when you get punched in the mouth? Huh?
I don't know.
Do you run away? Or do you go right back at him? Huh?
Get back up.
Get back up. That's it. Wash it off, get back up immediately. And these guys have to learn this. We have an extremely young team, and they have to keep responding. So everything, Woody threw the ball great. I mean, he was masterful. He got into the sixth. Things happened really quick. It shows you how talented this opposing team is. Gets up a base hit up the middle, the cutter in, hit by pitch to Perdomo. Hope he's fine. Marte, 2-strike, hard ground ball. Gurriel, sinker, homer, and all of a sudden it's 6-5. And we didn't capitalize. We had second and third, one out in that big inning. The kid came in and made good pitches. We weren't ready there. Durbin came back and made it up to us by hitting the homer. Mona had a great day. Happy for him. Collins' first double feels good. Feel like the Collins we knew. He would be the guy getting tased tonight for letting that ball drop in the first inning. Perkins looked better. Ashby was a real key. Mears again comes out in big situations. And Uribe, fantastic. Yelly and Contreras do their thing, get a couple hits. Yeah, that was a good win. Gets a good team.
I was going to ask you, with Ash especially, how big was that to be able to come in that situation, just kind of settle
down? It's huge. And he's sneaky been doing it for a while now, and he's available every day, even though he pitches multiple innings. So that's crucial.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media after the game. All highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network. That sound from Pat Murphy as well, FanDuel Sports Network. And our good friend Adam McCalvey hooking us up with some audio of some players after the game as well. We got to take our first break. On the other side, we're going to go through our Eye on the Enemy feature, talk about Brandon Fott. If the name sounds familiar, I'll re-jog your memory. His first outing against the Brewers, a pretty memorable one at that. Plus, we'll hear from Pat Murphy in pregame on what he had to say later on in the show as well. Plus, our Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Looking around the minor leagues after the off day yesterday, what's going on in the minor leagues today. It is the leadoff show. We are live from Stenny's in Lake Country here. Beautiful venue. Seriously, if you want to come hop on a shuttle, they're already starting to run some out. It looks like a beautiful place here. They got the game room. The bar is awesome. Plenty of space. Looks great here out in Lake Country. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More leadoff show next.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something, or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you live at Stenny's in Lake Country. Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Seriously, I got people coming up now asking if they need to do anything to get these awesome shirts that we have here, which you don't. You don't have to do anything. You literally just walk up. We cannot go home with any of this stuff, people. So go ahead, grab a shirt, grab some great merch from Sun Cruiser Vodka. They're the reason why we're out here. The hat, awesome for sure. Let me give you the Brewers lineup before we get into Eye on the Enemy here in case you missed it earlier in the show. Bryce Terang going to lead things off at second base. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field batting fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Anthony Siegler at third base bats seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field bats eighth. Andrew Monasterio will bat ninth. Play shortstop, rounds things out for the crew. Wanted to do Eye on the Enemy here because this one cuts a little close to home. And so now every year I have this tradition. I still have to go through with it this year, but me, my father, and two of my very good friends, we go to a Brewer game every year. And basically, my dad gets invited because we need to get 4 tickets instead of 3, and I thought it'd be a good idea to ask him. And now it turns into something that we do every year that's always such a blast. He hangs out with us. We have some beers. We have some subs out there. And the first game we ever did that was a Brewers playoff game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the starting pitcher in that game, Brandon Pfaadt for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That is the infamous Craig Counsell pinch hits Jesse Winker in the game. Yeah, if you're forgetting, because he did that twice in the same series. It was the very first game of that series. And I was there, hearing the boos that everyone rained down on Brandon Pfaadt when that happened. And I am now saying this: Brandon Pfaadt's career stats against the Brewers are not all that great. They have 2 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs in that game against the Brewers in that first game of the playoffs. The second time he faced them last year in September, it was 7 hits, 8 earned runs in that contest, 1 2/3 innings. Then last year was the last time he faced them. 9-19, that was last September. He had a good game, all right? He struck out 12, 7 innings in that one, just 1 earned run as well. And we didn't hear much from Brandon Pfaadt since then. Those are his 3 career outings against the Brewers. Some career stats: Bryce Terang is 2 for 4 in his career against Brandon Pfaadt. Contreras 1 for 5. Yelich 1 for 1. Vaughn's got a hit. Frelick has 2 hits. And then no one else has a hit off of Brandon Pfaadt in their career after Sal Frelick in the lineup. Collins and Siegler have never faced him, but combined 0 for 6 between Perkins and Andrew Monasterio. Jacob Mizorowski has yet to face anyone on the Arizona Diamondbacks yet. He has played every team only once in his career, other than the Chicago Cubs, is who he has 2 career starts against. So that's a very common theme for Jacob Mizorowski. But we also talked about him, how since he got hit by that pitch, or hit by that comebacker rather, he has not really been the same. And you remember the first 3 starts for Miz, right? 16 innings of work, 2 earned runs, 19 strikeouts in that time frame there. When he pitched in now August, he has had 8 earned runs over 5 1/3 right now. It has not been as strong of an outing against Jacob Mizorowski and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's get to what Pat Murphy had to say. Let's head to the coach's corner.
Line drive, base hit down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the coach's corner. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
We got Pat Murphy coming up here. Here's what he had to say thanks to our guy Drew Wagner earlier today.
Kind of curious, like in your mind, at what point for a lot of these young guys in their careers do they kind of make that jump into, instead of being inexperienced, they're more of an experienced veteran now?
Right. I see that in like terrain, for instance. Like I see like, okay, this guy's been through it, and I look at it like, wow, I knew him then. It's only been 2.5 years. And now to see where he is and how he approaches challenges, the things he even talks about, it's just great. When does it happen exactly? It's different for everybody. Like Sal's in that boat, this is kind of Sal and Bryce's team too now. It's not just Yellie's team, or Willie Adamas' team. You know what I mean? It's those guys have come of age.
With Bryce, you were talking even as soon as you took this job about what you thought he could accomplish when he really had kind of so-so rookie. What did you see in him from that rookie season that made you realize he was capable?
I wasn't the only one who saw it, that's for sure. And they picked him in the first round. He's a ball player, man. He loves baseball. He's going to get it. He's emerging. I said earlier this season, last year he took a quantum leap into being a great defender, and you can see. I said it earlier. You can see he's going to be a middle of the order hitter in his life because he's handling, all different situations. It doesn't have that much to do with numbers, to be quite honest. You just see it coming.
What is it that you see? In terms of, it's not numbers, but just in terms of
you see his at-bats. Yeah, you see his at-bats. You see balls he's almost getting to, falling off. You watch his work. You watch what he talks about. You watch how he puts balls in play. You watch the swing mechanic work. You watch the swing decisions. And more than anything, you see the presence in the box and the confidence. It's really cool.
How often do your guys hit with hitting coaches outside of the season with someone else?
Not much. No, not much. Some sneak it in. They try to sneak it around because they think these guys would be offended. Any coach that's offended by anybody else coaching somebody that to me is just a sign of immaturity in the coaching world, because you should want them. I hope our players are calling outside people. I'm calling outside people. So it's like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, that's how we learn.
It's still not a lot of guys do it.
I think guys do it. I don't think a lot at this time of year. I don't think guys have the capacity at this time of year to listen to a lot.
I'm talking about now in the offseason.
Oh, in the offseason?
Yeah, in the offseason.
Oh, they all hit with other guys. Yeah, all of them. And should. You know what I mean? I think it's good. I rarely think it's detrimental.
What happens if there's like a conflict? I don't know if it's come up, but like, how do you go about that?
What happens when there's a conflict in your family?
Like, is that okay?
I don't know what you mean, but I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, conflict. What's wrong with that? Conflict's inevitable.
Sure.
Combat is optional.
But if they're like telling them something separate from what you want,
for the player to get stronger and smarter and figure it out for himself. If it doesn't make sense to the player, then maybe it's good for him. Maybe it will get him to a point where, if the stuff we're talking about makes sense to the player, then it'll override that. Or maybe it's good food for thought. Or maybe we come back and look at it and go, oh, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we don't have every answer. It comes down to the player. The player's coaching is facilitating, and it's not dictating. There's no one theory, hitting theory. My big hitting theory is where the bat gets larger, hit the ball there a lot.
Genius. That's your one theory?
It's about my most solid one.
Murph, these days when you're doing bunting and base running and fundamental stuff, I know you love these days. Why are these days so important to you, especially at this point in the season?
It's reminders to the players, like, I need to be able to do this stuff. I need to be able to, when called upon, and the way those reminders help is that you're out there actually physically doing it. So maybe something clicks, or maybe you hear another bunter say, what's happening to me is I'm so worried about being safe that I get out of there a little quick. Or, one of the things I used to do is I jab my left foot before. It was kind of like a rhythm step before I bunted the ball. Maybe somebody hears that and it helps another player. I think those are great. What else is what we do in practice baseball? So why not? If it's preparation, why not do that? Or just show up at like 10-7, get ready to play. One or the other.
But do you think they respond better to like doing it physically than just like having a meeting and watching video about it?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you can't recreate. So if you can't recreate out there anything, even a likeness, it's almost eyewash. That you can't really recreate the concept. To make it anything like game like. It's really hard. So like in basketball, they go and do a shoot around. What do they really need that for? Do you ever shoot with that much time on your hands? Do you ever just, sometimes you watch them, they're just walking on the floor, dribbling the ball in their own head. It's basically just getting their body moving, doing something. So it's fun how we build those rituals in our game, but what really sticks.
The shoot around would be like coming out here at 10 o'clock in the morning and doing one thing, and sending everybody home and coming back again at 7.
Which isn't a bad idea. Especially at home. Especially you go on the road, get up in the morning, so you get them out of bed, get up in the morning, get over to the stadium, see how the nooks and crannies, the outfield plays. I saw the Diamondback coaches, they're a very efficient group. I saw them out there measuring distances yesterday, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's great. The coaches are doing it. How about the players? But it's information they're taking back to the players and stuff like that. But for me, I'd like the players to go out on the field. And maybe we'll start doing that. Shoot arounds on the we'll call it a shoot around. 10 a.m. shoot around. Get them up. Get them breakfast. Get them out there for the shoot around.
Yeah. Hey.
How does that change media availability?
Yeah. Huh?
How does that change media availability?
You guys got to be there early too.
I mean, isn't that what we
We can still do
call?
end of shoot around.
Isn't that what we call spring training?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Don't we do like 6 weeks of that?
A shoot around?
A shoot around.
I'm calling spring training next year the shoot around. Write it down. Somebody remind me of this if I don't transfer these notes from Kristen Portalese's letter to my book, from my book to my real book.
MLB's got a branding opportunity. Spring shoot around.
Spring shoot around. That's what I'm going to call it, Wags.
The walkthrough in football is kind of a dinosaur. They don't do that much anymore.
Yeah.
They don't?
College football program Friday walkthrough. They might do it at their hotel.
Oh God, you guys should have been. You guys should have been at the Notre Dame.
They don't do it at
the Notre Dame Fridays, guys, with Lou. And Lou would lay them all down on the loftus center floor. They'd lay and close their eyes and visualize, and Lou would walk through, and Lou would start talking. And the guy, you hear guys, and he'd go through the game plan, and he'd talk and he'd tell stories. It is magical.
I mean, there's Pat Murphy speaking to the media before the game today. That audio courtesy Drew Wagner. He's going to join us in about a half hour here. How perfect is it that Pat Murphy is making a Notre Dame football reference today, of all days, when the fan announces that they're going to become an affiliate of Notre Dame football? You guys just had on Notre Dame play-by-play at Wisconsin Sports Daily earlier. Like, that was just like chef's kiss right there on Pat Murphy talking about Notre Dame, obviously, where Craig Counsell and him crossed paths originally over with the Notre Dame baseball program. It is the leadoff show. Charlie Usen back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're out here at Stenny's in Lake Country. It's starting to get a little bit busier in here. People are getting ready to go on the shuttles. Going to be an awesome night today as Jacob Mizorowski pitching for Milwaukee against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Brandon Fott. On the other side, we're going to go into our Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Take a look around the minor leagues, see what's happening today for all those affiliated balls with the Milwaukee Brewers. Leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from Stenny's in Lake Country. Charlie back in studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show this year. Lineups today brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way, lakeland.edu. Bryce Terang to lead things off. He's at second base. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Anthony Siegler at third base bats seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth. Now, we've talked a lot about the majors today. Brewers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jacob Mizorowski going up against Brandon Pfaadt of the Arizona Diamondbacks. First pitch, 6:40, so just under an hour now, 50 minutes or so until we get to the Brewers and Diamondbacks game number 2. Before we talk more about that game, let's take a look around the minor leagues and see what's going on with building a winner.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner, powered by Ironworkers Local 8. Apply today at iwl8.org and join the Brotherhood building Milwaukee's skyline. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. No action in minor league baseball yesterday, as Mondays are the off days. Some news and notes, though, to tell you that Jackson Churio is still on his rehab assignment, and if everything goes well, I've heard the rumor is he's going to play 7 innings in Nashville today. They're going to reevaluate, and he could be ready as soon as this weekend to return to the big league club and play against Toronto. That is if everything goes perfectly. Hopefully that is the case, and no setbacks go from there. Rhys Hoskins has to be on the horizon as well. I think Rhys Hoskins is ready to come back anytime soon. Our good friend Andrew Wagner had tweeted this out, and you can follow him on Twitter at by Andrew Wagner. Some injury updates. I'll give you some of those after we get through the rest of the minor leagues here. One news and note here, Garrett Stallings going up against Mike Clevenger tonight. You remember Mike Clevenger of the Chicago White Sox. That's the matchup today for the Nashville Sounds. In Double-A, Biloxi is taking on the Montgomery Biscuits today. It'll be Casey Hunt on the bump for Biloxi. At Wisconsin High A, we have very few High A games left. Manuel Rodriguez is going to pitch for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. They're not going to have any postseason games left. This is the last week you can go watch any T-Rats baseball if you're trying to find a game to go watch. Jesus Mate, Luis Pena, Marco Dinges, Josh Adam Chesky, Andrew Fisher, Brewers #1 overall or first round pick this past MLB draft, all up in Appleton happening this week. Is the last week you can go do it. The lineup today: Andrew Fisher leads off, Jesus Mate bats second, Josh Adam Chesky bats third, Luis Pena bats fourth, Marco Dinges bats fifth. This is the future Brewers now here in 3 seasons, 2 seasons, whatever it might be. Like, that's what the Brewers lineup could look like, and they've been killing it down there for High A Wisconsin, especially Mate, since moving up as well. Low A Carolina also in action today, as they are currently now playing up against Delmarva. That game is in the top of the second. Melvin Hernandez is pitching in that game, who is probably the Brewers' most exciting pitching prospect to me after Logan Henderson, who's technically still qualified under that. But Hernandez is 19 years old, and he's been killing it so far for Carolina on a team that was just full of a bunch of bats. He's 9-5, a 2.13 ERA, 15 starts, has 110 innings, 87 strikeouts in that time. He's not necessarily got the most exciting stuff per se, but he does the job, and he's done a great job at that as well. Some injury news and note to remind you of the minor leagues. Brock Wilken set to return back today for the Biloxi Shuckers. Brock was having a fantastic go-around, had 18 homers, was leading all the Brewers organization at the time, and then he got hurt. And he got hurt celebrating. I remember this. That was not a great look. A real Kendrys Morales type move. He'll be back today. Get him moving. Get him ready to go. Hopefully he can impress with coming back. And then we're starting to talk about if Brock Wilken's got a chance to make the big league club next year. I really do think that with a good end of the season this year and a good spring next year, it's going to be hard to tell me that Anthony Siegler is better than Brock Wilken and ready to play Major League Baseball indeed. It is the leadoff show. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Before we get out of here, wanted to update you guys from Andrew Wagner again with our injury report that we have from our guy Drew Wagner. He shared a little bit of it on Wisconsin Sports Daily, I know, but in case you guys missed it in that time, he provided some updates that I think you guys would like to hear, because one of them was Jackson Churio and how he has been back now trying to get things all situated. And if everything goes well with him, that was the good news Drew Wagner gave us earlier, was that, hey, he could probably be back this weekend, judging based on that. Logan Henderson has started pilometric progression, which I don't know, like, they just love alliteration in baseball. Long leverage relief, pilometric progression. Now, see him as soon as late September, early October. So it seems like Logan Henderson's season just about done. Grant Anderson dealing with the posterior tibialis tendonitis. I definitely said that wrong as well, but that's what I've got. He's returning early September. Robert Gasser is going to pitch tonight for Nashville, on the 29th for Nashville. 5 innings, 75 pitches. Early next month, again, is what they're looking at for Gasser. DL Hall back late September with his oblique strain right now. Reese Hoskins expected to play all 9 innings at first base tonight. Joey Ortiz working through a running progression, currently at 85% intensity, they're saying, also doing some infield and hitting work, hoping to get him back by the Phillies series. So I think that's coming up after Toronto as well. Rob Zastryzny, still rehabbing at Nashville, will pitch tonight, should be back at the end of the month, early next month. We're getting close to the end of the month. I don't know what more they want to see out of Rob Z. If this could be his last outing as well, then maybe he comes back. I think they would love to have Rob Z back after DL Hall went down, and he can kind of slide into that same type of role that we saw out of DL Hall. That's your update on the injury side of things. The Brewers 2026 schedule dropped today as well, in case you missed that. White Sox, they will open up at American Family Field March 28th against the Chicago White Sox. They have a 6-game homestand in 7 days. That goes from the White Sox for 3 games and the Tampa Bay Rays for 3 games after, with a day off between the first game and the second game of the season. But it feels like it's so rare for the Brewers to open up at home. I think it's the first time since 2021 that they have opened up now at home this year. Looking at it ahead to, I believe we have heard that the A's, who are technically in Sacramento through the next 3 years, are going to play a series against the Brewers in Vegas next year in June. So if you're looking for a trip to try to plan something, get a nice little getaway, June 8th through 10th, I believe, are the dates that they are going to play in Las Vegas against the A's. Adam McKelvey says, I know, just trust me, it'll be in Vegas. So hopefully you can make something work out. That'll be an awesome trip. Me and Charlie are going to go. That's what I've already decided. Yeah, let's just go to Vegas next June. I would be totally down for that. Go see where they're going to play. They're playing at the 51s, I believe is what their name was, their AAA affiliate. They're going to play a series over there, which they're playing in a AAA ballpark anyway, so who cares? Coming up, we got to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, get you guys a nice little parlay for the people cooked up. courtesy of Potawatomi. It is the leadoff show. We're live here at Stenny's in Lake Country. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Other side of the 6 o'clock hour now. Tommy Wortz here at Stenny's in Lake Country. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Brewers lineup again today brought to you by Lakeland University. Of course, Bryce Turang leads things off. He's at second base. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Anthony Siegler at third base bats seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, it is the senior now I'm just messing your title up with Luis. It is the sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Austin Herdina, joining us again now. Back-to-back days. You were gone for a week, and now I'm trying to would that give you a promotion to be the senior media manager, Austin?
Maybe. I don't know, but I like what I do.
Yeah, I agree. You're great at it too. The Brewers get a win immediately after you return. Austin, I'm telling you, it's you. You have to be here, and then the Brewers play better, it feels like.
I mean, that might be it. I also hit the parlay for the people yesterday, too.
You did. Yeah, I mean, you're just a beast. You come back, you don't miss. The parlay for the people has actually hit pretty consistently, it feels like, this year. It has not been, Potawatomi's not trying. Like, you are trying to give away money on this show, it feels like, all the time, Austin, and you've done a fantastic job at it all season.
It's not my money that you guys select when you win your bets. I don't get any bonuses. I don't get any of that. So you guys, I want everyone to come in, and I want you guys to win.
Have a good time as well while you do it. Eat some good food. That's all happening over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Looking at the betting odds today, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers favored on the money line today, minus 180, minus 1.5. The run line will pay plus 128. The over-under set at 8 today. Austin, what are you liking over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to get a nice little parlay for the people going?
Yeah, we got to ride the Brewers again. This is just such a great year. I like the way we've been playing against Arizona this year. I like the Brewers on the money line. I like no runs in the first inning.
Ooh, Nerfy. You're back to Nerfy, hey?
Yeah. It's been something that there's been a lot of games at the field this year in Milwaukee where there's no runs in the first inning. So I'm going to follow that trend. And then, you know what? Jake McCarthy is a guy that he spent some time in AAA this year. He's back on the Major League club for Arizona for about 2 months now. He's been back in the big leagues. He is a really good fastball hitter. And with Mizorowski pitching today, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of fastballs. So I like him to get a hit. So Brewers to win, no runs in the first, Jake McCarthy to get a hit. And he's batting in the 7th spot, I believe. So that goes well with our no runs in the first inning because he probably won't even get to the plate.
Sure. Yeah, that'll pay plus 475 courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That is Brewers money line under of a total run in the first, and Jake McCarthy to record a hit in the contest. Austin, are you getting nervous a little bit about Mizorowski over the last couple of starts here? I think this is the first time he's pitched that we haven't really even looked at him in the parlay, but I mean, after he got hit by that comebacker, it's been a couple of struggles for 2 starts now, but also he's 23 years old and has the rest of his career in front of him. Are we overreacting to it at all?
I think so. The expectations for him went from, little to very high so early in his career when, he didn't even allow was it a base hit in the first 10 innings or something?
It was a base runner. I think it was 11 perfect innings almost. It was no hits, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but he took the perfect game in the second inning into the 6th inning. That's what it was.
You can't start a career any better than that.
Right.
And I just think that the expectations naturally went really high. He became the favorite to win Rookie of the Year right away. It didn't take very long, a couple starts. I just hope that he gets into a groove and gets ready for the playoffs. We got about 5 weeks until the playoffs. I just want him to be ready to go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, joining us here as he does each and every day on the leadoff show. Austin, how's the sportsbook looking today? What do you guys got going on in the future? Some other stuff people should know about happening over at Potawatomi, Austin.
Yeah, things are going well. We still have our shuttles that are running. So if you're looking to go to the games, You can get on the shuttle as early as 1 hour before the games we start them. You just need to place a bet at the sportsbook counter and ask for a shuttle bracelet, or you can have a purchase at our restaurant. So just either option will get you that bracelet. It's a shuttle ride to and from the stadium. Leaves right from our sportsbook area. It's really a good deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys got week 1 of college football and the NFL open now for reservations too, right, Austin?
Yes, we do. And I'm really excited for that. It's, football season is just about here. It's one of our busiest times of the year. It's really starting off with a bang. Got 2 really good teams starting Saturday morning, Texas and Ohio State. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on that game.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Were you Packer? You're a Packer guy, right, Austin?
Yes.
Yeah. So anything surprise you today with Final Cutdown Day? Anything crazy?
Nothing too much.
Yeah, I didn't think it was anything too crazy, but no Simmons, like that was kind of the big name that comes in the offseason. Kalen King didn't make it. They kept Nasir Stackhouse, but how excited are you for Packer season, just specifically Packer season this year, Austin?
I mean, I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be tough division though. I think everyone in our division is a team that in theory could make the playoffs. So it's going to be really exciting to see how we stack up in our division. Historically, we've been, so good for like 30 years. So I just hope that continues, but we'll see. It's going to be a tough year.
Yeah, should be. Parlay for the people one more time today. Brewers money line under a half a run in inning number 1, and Jake McCarthy to record a hit. That'll pay plus 475, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, have a great rest of your night, my friend. We will talk again tomorrow. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, jumping off the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. We got a couple of minutes here before we get over to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, as he will join us in the last segment of the show, as he does each and every day now. And we got to talk about this with Jacob Mizorowski. He's got to have the same luck that the rest of these pitchers have had, it feels like, because he has the one inning in him where it always seems like it can go sideways. In the last start, he has the bases loaded, the Cincinnati series, bases loaded. He's walking the bases loaded, giving up one big hit in that. And he's got to get away from that at some point, because it's what got him up to the big leagues as quick as it did happen. I know his stuff. He throws 103. He's got a curveball that's wicked. The slider's 97. But when he developed the consistency, that's when we saw Jacob Mizorowski really rise up the ranks. And then he came in and had a fantastic start in his big league career. He did walk 4 batters in that first big league game. That's actually the most he's walked in a game. But after that, he really settled things down. 1 walk, 2 walks, kept the pitch counts low in those second and third game on the season. And he's only pitching ever in big games, it feels like, right? He gets the Cardinals, a division rival, right away. He gets the Twins, where he's got to go up against Joe Ryan in that game. He has the Pirates, in which he has to go up against Paul Skeens in that game. How about go pitch in New York for your first road game, right? There was so many big moments for Jacob Mizorowski that now you get a game where it should be much more low pressure. The team is now in first place in the National League Central by a comfortable enough margin. By no means should you take your foot off the brakes, but comfortable enough. And you're going up against the Diamondbacks, who they don't have a very good team this year. They were sellers at the deadline. I don't think that this is a game that Jacob Mizorowski has to get all worked up about. And I do think that it's a game where he is prime to bounce back. And we had our parlay for the people, which was a 3-leg, which this is Austin's 3-leg, so I won't say do this to add on to it. But this is a game where Miz gets over 5.5 strikeouts, and that improves the parlay from plus 475 to plus 800. If you like what Austin said, plus that. Miz is going to have a big strikeout day. I still think it. I think this is prime for him. Woody had a big strikeout day yesterday in just 5 2/3. And you heard Pat Murphy say he does not have a short leash on Jacob Mizorowski. He is going to pitch in this game. He would have to self-destruct in order to have a short leash, is what Murphy said in pregame earlier today. Up next, we'll be joined by Andrew Wagner of Forbes Sports. Pick his brain on what's going down at the ballpark today, American Family Field, and as well as recap a little bit of what happened yesterday to close things out. It is the leadoff show live from Stenny's in Lake Country. Charlie Beck in studios, powered by Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
And one more time, starting lineups today on the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here at Stenny's in Lake Country, Lakeland University. Thanks for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Now, Bryce Terang at second base to lead things off. William Contreras, the catcher, to bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats fourth today. Sal Frelick in right field will bat fifth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat sixth. Anthony Siegler at third base bats seventh. Blake Perkins in center field bats eighth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, batting ninth.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Join their fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com.
Drew Wagner now joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Follow him on Twitter at @Andrew_Wagner on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. And I just feel a little less complete because Drew is not next to me for the Leadoff Show like he was yesterday. Drew, before we get into any game action, is that the only Jacob Nottingham jersey in existence that's not owned by Jacob Nottingham at American Family Field today?
I mean, it's got to be close. That's one of my favorite games. Like, if you're a longtime follower of my idiotic Twitter feed, you'll know that my penchant for random gamers is epic. And I've seen some good ones lately. Like yesterday, we saw Matt Albers. The other day, Jose Capion.
What was it yesterday? It was Chase Anderson and who? It was Matt Albers.
The jersey, it was a shirt. I know the jersey that I saw at the ballpark was Matt Albers.
Oh, that's great.
The jersey. The jerseys that we saw at Brewski's was Chase Anderson and JBJ. So
Jackie Bradley.
My game on Twitter is only the gamers. They got to be the game warns.
I get you.
Just the most obscure, old school, like whatever. Guys like it's always, you look at it and you don't know for sure whether it's an actual player or someone just had that like custom made for themselves.
Right.
Like, is this a real person or a real ball player?
Well, so yesterday at when we were at Brewski's, there was one that said Wolfgram that I was like, oh my God, is that a Grant Wolfram who I don't even think played and got a jersey?
That'd have been
but
great.
it said Wolfgram, and I was like, oh my God, it's Wolfgram, not Wolfram. Which was I almost freaked out, but it had to be a custom jersey. Drew Wagner, this is what we talk about now here on the Leadoff Show. Just random Brewers, just guys naming dudes for the next 10 minutes with Drew Wagner. No, Drew, yesterday the Brewers pick up a win. Pat Murphy pretty much saying almost felt good, almost must win in that game yesterday. They let it get interesting after being up 6-0, made it 6-5. But really, Ashby and company closing things down after Woody had that one inning that got away from him.
Yeah, and listen, they were going up against a good team that's having a bad year for the second straight series. And it's not an excuse. It's not a cop-out. And I talked about this with Sparky earlier because a lot of people rolled their eyes when Murph said that the Giants were a team that was built to win. Well, so were the Diamondbacks. These were teams that had realistic pennant expectations going into the season, and it got derailed for whatever reason. In the Diamondbacks case, it was a rash of pitching injuries. They lost Jordan Montgomery, they lost Corbin Burns, but their lineup is still fairly prolific, even without the second coming of Babe Ruth and Eugenio Suarez.
Or Luis Matos not being on their team, having just an all-time series, right? The Diamondbacks, this is a team that has been, they're also in the division of death in the NL West on top of it, too. They have stars up and down that lineup, and Murphy was listing some off yesterday, Drew.
Yeah, and listen, we've said going all the way back to the All-Star break, we knew that the Brewers' schedule in the second half was going to be tough. Now, they kind of played us a little bit because they just went on that incredible tear into and out of the break, and then went on another incredible tear, sweeping the Giants during that streak, playing well against the Marlins during that streak, playing well against the Mets during that streak. So they've made it look easy at times, but you knew it was going to be difficult. You knew that it was going to be a challenge. You knew that you weren't going in there and playing pushover teams. And even the pushover teams are still playing for pride and playing for dignity and going out there to compete. So you knew it was going to be tough. And that's why I think yesterday's victory was really impressive. They went out there and they took an early lead. They didn't exactly let up. Woody had that really weird inning. I won't even call it a bad inning. It was just a weird inning.
Yeah.
So they cut it within a run, and then you get that insurance home run to give yourself a little breathing room. That's a textbook victory. That's how the Brewers play baseball. That's how the Brewers win games. And that's how the Brewers, quite frankly, how they have to win games.
Yeah, it's about capitalizing all in one inning, it feels like, right, Drew? We get the stat that it's the 22nd time that they have scored 5 or more runs in an inning, which is the most in Major League Baseball. And then I think it was the 46th time we read earlier that they've scored 4 or more runs in an inning. Why are the Brewers so good at piling it on all at once, Drew? And why can't it be a prolonged thing? It's either like everyone's hot or nobody is in a lineup with Milwaukee. But thankfully, more often than not, like they've had a lot of those games, and that's why they're a good team this year, Drew.
I don't think it's a matter of anyone being hot or not. I think it's just a matter of the way those innings work out, the way that the Brewers approach at bats, the way that they work at bats, the way that they create the chaos, the way that they work a pitcher's count up, not even for the game total, but the higher a pitcher's count in an inning, the less effective he's going to be. It's proven time and time again.
Yeah.
So the Brewers keep extending at bats and just putting the ball in play, making contact and moving guys over. That is kind of like a snowball effect. It just keeps going and going. Now, you wonder why they can't come out and do it the next inning. Well, maybe they make a pitching change, or maybe that pitcher has a chance to sit down, catch his breath, regroup, and refresh. It's one of those things where once it happens, it's hard to stop.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us here on the Leadoff Show presented by Focus Baseball. Drew, let's talk a little bit about today. Jacob Mizorowski back on the bump has struggled since really getting that comebacker back off his leg, and now has to go up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. I was just saying before that I think this is a prime game for him to bounce back, right? Woody had the nice big strikeout game yesterday. Like Mizorowski, it feels like can get right back into it today against a lineup like the Diamondbacks.
They need a Mizorowski to have a Mizorowski outing. They need him to go out there. He doesn't have to no-hit anyone through 5, but he's got to go out there and dominate the strike zone.
Show some control, right, Drew?
Show some control. He's got to be efficient. Like, they need him to make a deep start today. And obviously you're not expecting Miz to go 8 innings. They're just not going to do that with a kid, but you need him to get through 5, maybe 6 as clean as possible. Not just for his own sake, not just for the sake of the victory, but again, you got to start getting those relievers some rest. And you cannot keep going to your pen in the 4th inning. It's just too hard. My cousin and her son just walked past trying to distract me. I see you, Melissa.
Well, it looks like they did a great job at it, Drew.
Yeah.
So give kudos to them. Drew Wagner joining us. Drew, you updated us on the injury front on Wisconsin Sports Daily and, of course, on your Twitter @byAndrewWagner. Other than Jackson Chourio, of those names of who could realistically come back this season for Milwaukee, who do you think plays the biggest impact, and who do you think the Brewers are missing the most of any of those injured guys? Again, other than Jackson Chourio, I think that's the obvious number one answer, but who else from that list can the Brewers really benefit from having a part of that roster, more so than any of the others?
I think, obviously, yes, Chourio's the obvious one. I think right now Rob Z would be a huge addition. Just having – he's a left-handed pitcher that can also get right-handers out. And that's really valuable to have, that you can use in short stints. So you don't have to keep going to Ashby, and you can save Ashby for when you need legs. I think he's a very undervalued member of that bullpen. He was pitching incredibly well when he got hurt. He was very valuable. It was basically, he was kind of filling the role that Mears fills, being that first guy out that gets you out of jams, just a left-handed version of him. I think that's incredibly valuable. I think getting him back will really help that bullpen a lot.
Yeah, you know what I always say, every time Rob Z pitches, Drew, you got to credit William. You just got to credit William for it after, because that's where Pat Murphy goes, no matter who's pitching. But with Rob Z coming back, I'm sure the credit for William will only go through the roof. Drew, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night. We'll do it again tomorrow, my friend.
Yeah, where are you at tomorrow?
We're at Stenny's in Milwaukee, though, not in Lake Country. We're in Stenny's in Lake Country today, but we'll be back over at Stenny's in Milwaukee. Maybe I see you there?
Yeah, maybe we'll try and stop by there. Depending on the pregame schedule, maybe we could pop in for another live cameo. I miss being close to you, Tommy.
It doesn't feel the same when Jack leans on me, when you lean on me, Drew. I'll say that, all right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Lion Jack doesn't seem like a good
I totally
sport.
thought you would hang up after that sentence. Drew, we'll talk again tomorrow, my friend.
Hi, brother.
There he is, Drew Wagner, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. One more thing to get to before we get out of here. Keys to the game.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we always wrap things up here on the Leadoff Show. But first, keys to being on the road. Sun Cruiser vodkas. Yes, baseball calls for Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea, made with real iced tea, real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today and let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly. Keys to the game, I think it's just all revolving around Miz again, man. You got to have an outing like Miz usually has, right? And it hasn't been that way since returning from the IL with Jacob Mizorowski. I don't need Jacob Mizorowski to go out and throw 103 every time. I argue that he might be more efficient when he's throwing 98, 99, and it might be more effective for him. But you don't want to hear that because it's way cooler and way sexier if he's throwing 103 miles an hour. I understand that. But 5 innings out of Miz. You just got to know he can do it at this point. 5 innings out of Miz is today's key to the game. That's going to do it for us here at The Fan. Make sure you guys are checking out all your favorite local shows now. Andy Herman, Pack-A-Day Radio, returning cut day for the Green Bay Packers. He'll talk all about that at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The Mason Crosby Show, Mitch Thunder Nellis returning from his long vacation wedding of destiny. I don't even know what he was doing out there. But he'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, Wisconsin Sports Daily and the Leadoff Show will be at Stenny's in Milwaukee tomorrow. Thanks again to Stenny's in Lake Country for having us out here live from Stenny's. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.